Hi everyone, welcome to this video from Harvendo Gaming. This is Warrior, or some call me Jason in real life. This is the next episode in a series in which I'm documenting my learning journey when it comes to creating YouTube content. I'm planning on covering all aspects of my learning, including sound, visuals, logos, banners, editing, all that good stuff. In this episode, I'm going to be covering how I created my Harvendo Gaming banner that I'm currently using on my YouTube channel. When I first started looking into logo design, I did some Googling and I came across this site here called Canva. It seems to be a really fun tool, even though I've only scratched the surface of it. Earlier on today, I spent about an hour messing around and managed to come up with this end product. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out, even though it took me a little bit of messing around because I have absolutely no experience when it comes to using programs like this. Let's get into how I ended up with this design. I'm going to be running through the exact same process using the same keywords, but considering this is AI generated, we're probably going to come up with something that is looking completely different to this, but it should still be fun anyway. And hey, if it turns out to be better, I might have to use that instead. All right, so the first step, let's go over to home here. And from there, we can just click on create a design. It's pretty easy to see what we're going to choose, considering there's one here that says YouTube banner. So let's just click on that one. All right, so now we've got our blank page here. I didn't use any of the templates that are on this page, even though here it's showing a recently used one. That was just me having a quick look. Instead, I actually went down here to this button that says Magic Media. From there, I started out with the words dwarf in purple armor. The next words I added into the mix were embarking on a journey. Those ones don't seem too bad, but again, just didn't quite fit properly. So instead, I decided to add another little phrase on the back, being far-reaching background. Starting to get a little bit better here. This one up in the top right hand corner is starting to look really nice. Let's just have a quick look at that actually. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad whatsoever. But we're not done yet. So we'll get rid of that. So I figured out that far-reaching background was going to get me some nice visuals or a nice scene in the background. Then I figured I'd try standing on a cliff instead of embarking on a journey. And we're starting to get even better here. That one in the top left, even the one in the top right, they look pretty good. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's starting to look good. That's starting to look good. But there was one last little bit that I put in just to get exactly what I ended up with, and that was on a cliff in the foreground. Now we're really starting to get somewhere, hey? This guy's pretty prominent. I like his open toes. Although I don't quite like the color of the armor, so let's just add that little word dark in front of purple. Not bad, not bad. Let's have a look at this guy here. Not quite yet, not quite yet. Let's try something like looking out upon. Here we go. Yeah, that's starting to be really good now. All right, let's take this one. Cool. So I got to this point, but I've got a square in the middle of this rectangle here. So where do I go from there? Well, the first thing I tried doing was naturally just expanding it out to see what that looked like. But obviously, as I expanded it out at the sides, I started losing height. So I got a little bit perplexed here, thinking, how do I rearrange the photo? Because obviously I've never used this before. Anyway, I figured out we could literally just grab this thing, move it down a little bit, and then extend out the top. And that gets us our nice dwarf in the foreground, looking out over a nice scenic background there. Although most people start looking on the left, so let's just flip him around on the horizontal to have him looking out over the right. Awesome. The next step was to add in the text Harvende Gaming. The first thing that I tried was to come over here to this text section, but I found that this only allowed me to type in traditional texts and couldn't come up with anything that looked really nice. So I ended up getting out of that. What I ended up doing was coming down here, adding another page, and then coming back down to Magic Media. This time I did the same thing for my logo, and I wrote in Harvende Gaming in Dwarvish script in cream. Enter. I think some of these look quite nice, actually. Some of these look quite nice. Let's just try this one to begin with. Nice. All right. So we have a nice Harvende Gaming, but the problem is there's a background there. So how do we get just the words on their own? After a little bit of messing around, I found that the easiest way to go about this was to click this little edit button up here and clicked on background remover. Now, as you can see here, that did a pretty damn good job, but we're just losing a little bit of that black definition that is going around the letters. So my next move was to go back to Magic Media and add in cream with black border on white background. Get some good options. All right, let's try this one. Cool. So let's get rid of this old one here. Now, that's a nice defined border. So if we go back into editing and then try background remover again. Beautiful. That looks really nice, actually. Cool. My next step was to take a copy of it. I don't know if I have to, but I took a copy of it and pasted it onto my first page. Then moved it up into the corner. Actually, this one it might do better down here. This one might do better down here, and just increase the size a little bit so that it looks nice. Then I simply just locked in the layers. Probably don't have to do that, but I did anyway. Cool. It's looking pretty good there. I like the detail in his armor actually. From here, I went up to File and Download. 2560 by 1440, and I limited the size to 6,000 kilobytes because that's what YouTube says I have to. So once that downloaded, open it up and there we go. We have a banner. Next process is to actually upload it to YouTube. So here we are in the customization tab of my studio, and you can see right here is the banner image, and this is the one that we created previously, which is sitting there. But I'm just going to show you a little problem that I came across and haven't been able to figure out how to fix it. So if we go to change, let's open that up. When you're looking at it on a TV, you can see the whole image. Unfortunately, when you're looking at it on a desktop, you only get this little strip. And when you're looking at it on all devices, which I'm guessing is a phone, you are only getting this little section. Now, the thing that got me is that I can't figure out how to move these view windows so that I can get the detail that I want out of the banner. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. If you know a way, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to try to come up with something that fits a little bit better over the next few days. We'll see how we go. So as you can see, this is my YouTube channel, and you can see the banner and only the middle part of the banner. Someday soon I'll either figure it out or I'll come up with a different design so that you can actually see Harvende Gaming on the computer. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about the small one for the phone screens, but yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. Thanks for making it through to the end of the video. If you would like to continue with me on this journey of learning, please subscribe, and if you like the video, please like the video. I hope you all have a great day. Bye.